Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Sachin Singh and we're just streaming live Memphis Chess Club games. They usually have the dual rated tournament, and we're looking at Greg Turner versus uh, I'm sorry, Travis Aaron Miller versus Greg Turner. Let me actually take you through the game really quickly. And let's go. So I have the chess base version so that we can look at some lines. We have the live board. And I might miss some moves here and there, but let's see. Okay, so that was taken back. Let's go back and actually make moves physically. So let's start with the opening: d4, d5, bishop f4, knight f6. So now we're looking at some sort of London system: knight f3, bishop d6, bishop d3, castle kingside, bishop d3. And I think even here they're in some sort of hold on, let's see if we can find this. Okay, so here games have still been played. c5 has been played, c3, queen c7, and there's still games been played here. 92 by far the most played line here, but anyway, f4 was played. That's still been played once. Bishop a6 has been played once. Somewhere nowhere. That's a very important question. That's a game from somewhere. Anyway, so bishop takes a6, knight d2, knight b8, and now we're transposed back into something. And this was played anyway. So how do I get back to the game that I had? That's interesting. Can I do this? No. Okay. So we have to recreate it. I don't know. Okay. We got it back. Okay. Bishop a6, knight a6, queen e2, knight here, b5, a3, knight b8, e4, d takes e4, knight takes e4, knight b7, knight takes d6, queen takes d6. I think a couple more moves have been played since then. Let me see. Okay. And after queen takes d6, castle kingside was played. That is a very interesting. Okay, so castle kingside. That's also one of the top 100 lines. And I've been also talking to the manager at Memphis Chess Club, and he thinks e4 doesn't do enough. Although it did prepare f5, so I'm assuming that's somewhere early. So somewhere around here, and makes e file semi-open for the black rook. So that might be interesting. It also says d5 square is now knight for the black knight, and that definitely seems interesting. So let me see. Let me put this on here. So he says that this might come here, although this knight seems like he has an outpost, but that's a better, like a much better outpost for a black knight. And looking at all these squares, maybe at some point you can get either this, and somehow get a knight here. So quite a lot of arrows anyway. So anyway, castle kingside was played, and let's see if a move has been played since then. Probably. So I might miss. You have a live there, but I'm trying to see if I can just put stuff. So queen d5 was played, in fact, which is interesting. And I think since then, Farron has been thinking. Right, the time is very interesting. And Farron almost started with like almost a lot less time. So I think he played his first move almost after like 11 minutes down in time. So that happened. But now let's look at the position. So it gives white a slight edge after bishop h4. But I think what other plans for white again are, one of them I would suggest is like probably bringing the rook here I can see obviously, like that seems like a more natural move. Bishop h4. Like you have the bishop, uh, and you would rather have a bishop than a knight, but also the center is closed, so you're a little bit conflicted. Where do you want to keep the bishop or knight? But then also these two knights are trotting on each other's toes, and then do you want to give up a bishop for a knight? That's like bad because you're not trading this bishop for this knight. Sorry, this bishop for this knight. Hold on, let's do this. You're not trading this bishop for this knight. You're effectively trading it for the red one because that knight's gonna hop in. Apparently, I cannot draw arrows, but it's not gonna hop in. Yes. So here, Farron's thinking. Let's see what we can get out of this really quickly. Let me also try to see if I can post this on Discord and let people know that we're kind of streaming. And he's ready to make a move. He has played bishop h4. Very interesting. He's played the top engine line. Bishop h4 is on the board. And now the engine wants queen b7. But let's look at what other opportunities do I have and what's happening. So I think one of the reasons why this is very interesting is because you make the f3 square for your rook, and then slowly but surely you can also bring your queen out, because again this knight that'll end up here will take up two important squares from the queen, and you would not want to exchange your queen if you're trying to attack. Although you have this very interesting idea, hold on, to press it here, and I think that also works really nicely. And then you can obviously start pressuring with g4, g5, taking away, like once this knight reaches here, taking away squares from this knight, and maybe in due time h7 can be weak. So bishop h4 on the board. I think black has played queen b7, so black has gone back. Really nice, very nicely played queen b7. And now let's see what's on the agenda. So let me see really quickly. Let's do this. I'm sorry for the sniffling. I'm really having issues with my nose. So if you feel that, I apologize. Let's see if I can do this. So let's see what has happened since then. And I think g4 is on the board, and then black has responded with a6. Hold on. I think I missed a couple of moves here. So let me quickly go back a couple of moves. So I'm still trying to follow it on a different. So okay, hold on. a6 was played before any of this was played, which is interesting. So I missed a move somewhere. Okay, a4 was played before bishop h4. So a4, this. Alright, see, this is why I need. No, we're not doing that. Okay. Did I ruin it? Yes, we did. Okay, we can make it better. Alright, we have stockfish. We're back. Alright, a6, bishop h4. This is on top. Okay, bishop h4, queen b7 now. Okay, bishop h4, queen b7, and g4. Okay, so now g4, g4, knight takes, and I'm assuming he's still thinking. That's what it is. Right. So probably need to actually put this on my other board so that I can still follow. Sorry about that. And let's see. This was not on my bingo card, but anyway, bishop takes f6 has been played now, and that is very interesting. Where black actually has a really nice move, knight d3 here, getting out of it, which is very interesting. It's also like, so if you see this little, let me actually highlight this out. See this little green bar, which means that that's the only move that holds a lot of edge. The other version is a little worse. And then that's what it says here with the body engine. Very, very nice stuff that chess misses come up with. So when you're analyzing games like live and stuff, it's much easier. But knight d3 here is just nice, and I think it has been played now on the board, and you have knight d3. And he's retreated back with bishop h4. Now let's actually go and try to place black. So the point is, I have a knight, you have a bishop, so I don't want to definitely go into an endgame because the bishop thrives usually with pawns on both sides of the board. The center is closed, so I'd rather have a knight. My knight's on a really nice outpost, so that's really great. Now, what should be the plan of action for black? And that's what will decide the next move. In fact, the next move, queen d5 has been played, and again he's just trying to bring more pieces in. You will slowly have more attack and pressure defending the e6 pawn if you want to play something like f4 f5 over time. And these two players are really closely matched. So we have Miller at 1741 and Turner at 1926. So they're really, really closely matched. It's really nice. It's a really tight game of chess at this point. Let's switch it back to white and let's think, what can white do? So here white, I'm trying to just bail out of this whole situation. I think at some point I'm also thinking of that my king's overexposed. Can I give an exchange? Like I can give up the a1 rook for the d3 knight, since that knight is really powerful. Maybe get a pawn also, so I can get the c4 and the d3. And then can I, ask this question that yes, but we have too many pawns on the board, and to make hay of your extra exchange, you really need to find a way to play it. The problem that I see with that, although, is that that a4 pawn will then become undefended, and if I take now on b5, that file becomes open, and once the file becomes open, it becomes a little bit more difficult for the side with who's an exchange down to hold that, because you can always double up, and you'll have to move a lot of resources away from the safety of your king. So that might be one of the problems. So I think there's some idea that he can try. And b4 has been played. I'm running behind in all of this, and now I think simply a5 is what the Indian's suggesting. But let's switch again and see what black can do. So there is the point is that obviously you can take, because I take your knight. The other point is if you take here, it makes this a little bit messier, and if you allow me, I'll just close down. And if you allow me, I'll just probably close down. So that's going to be an issue. Let's see what Greg comes up with, and he correctly finds a5, and now it is very interesting again. So excuse me. If you play b takes a5, rook takes a5 is on the cards, and if you take a takes b5, a takes b4, and then you give me a passer really nicely. So interesting stuff actually happening, and in fact, I think takes. So let's look at this one actually. And I'm assuming you have to take here. I'm gonna take back. You take here, and I take with the. Oh, you can take here or here, and both of them are actually like really winning for black. And I think this one's a little bit more forcing because it comes a check, and you can also exchange pieces if you want to after bishop d2, bishop f2, because like these two pawns are just sitting ducks, and how you ever gonna defend it? So it's takes, and then this is really nicely supported, and then you can go gobble up at some point. But on the other hand, after bishop f2, if you want to just keep the tension, would be really nice. You can just go queen here. And in fact, I think knight f2, just simplifying, is also probably okay. Not the strongest though. Move. Very interesting again. Sorry, my nose is giving me so much. Nose is basically griefing me. But let's do this, and let's do a variation here. And after queen takes f2, you have to go back queen d7. And the point being that you don't want to exchange queens, because then these two pawns, white can give up for this, and a 4v3 you don't want to run into a draw. So here, let's say if this happens, let's do another variation here. And now just rook takes f2, king takes f2. I'll just, to demonstrate a point, one of those, like let's say this rook a4, and here there's again multiple ways of holding a draw. It's rook b2. And if you try to push, I think I'll just, I'll say thank you very much. And I'll take this. And let's see, you take, you obviously can take because this back rank, but you have to play something like h6 or h5, let's say h6. And now I'm more than happy to actually like even give up this pawn, because I know that I can hold a 4v3. Anyway, a couple of moves have been made, so let's get back from the point where we had and we were at 25. No, we're not at 25. We were at a5 had been just played. So after a5, bishop has been played, and that's very interesting. So let's make this our main variation. Hold on. I know how to do this. Promote variation. And then rook e8 has been played. And now he's brought it back to c5. So he's rerouted the bishop real nicely. But again, the problem still remains. So this solved one problem, which is these two pawns after takes. So after takes, they were really loose previously, but now this bishop guarding both the pawns, and the both pawns guarding the bishop. So that's really nice. The one of the again important points is that after you take here, I think you also have to worry about who's going to defend this a4 pawn, because now it's being attacked twice. So hoping Greg finds some of this. So let's see what's on the board here. After bishop c5, it looks like he's taken with cb4, and now rook takes a4 just wins a pawn, and white's in serious danger because king safety has holds. And material wise, so let's count the pawns. We have 3 and 3 6, and we have 4 and 2 6, but this one's gonna be lost really quickly. And then the other thing is that we need to see what else. And I'm assuming there's going to be some other issues after excuse me, after this takes. So after takes, like this, takes. You want to put it, and you have this passer that's gonna jump up really quick, and this bishop will not be in time to defend anyhow. And if you want to try and defend here, there's going to be other problems with the other passer. So a lot of things for white to defend. That's going to be an issue. And as we are seeing it, rook takes a4 has been played by Greg Turner, and white takes back immediately, and after b takes a4, it's really almost done. Uh, Let me grab some water. I'm sorry. It's very interesting game choices, and we see f5 trying to again build some attack. And the point is obviously if you take, there's a back rank made that's happening. So even though there's a capture on board, we need to be really nice about it. One of the moves, again, the engine says okay, but that's also nice. But like one of the other moves that you would want to like take a look at here is that, okay, let's say if you get to take somehow. So if I play, let's say, a random move with here also a6 is going to help a little. But let's say if you take, now I can take back with the rook. Sorry, with tempo, and that's possible. And then you can play other things too. But again, when the engine just really makes it much easier for black, just move away. And I feel like that's nice. Pushing the pawn again is really nice. But I think h6, one of the other moves, is also completely fine. And he plays rook d8. Again, a riskless move. Here, excuse me, and a3, a2 is slowly coming soon. And I think rook a8 probably could have also been the same. And after rook a8, I think he ran out of time. Or some couple of things happened really quickly. So let me quickly see what happened, which I missed, obviously. So it was played. Why can't I find what was played? Okay, so he played. Did he not play rook e8? No, he didn't. Oh, he just played this. Then after rook a8, I see. Because I'm looking at the opposite side. He lost on time, but a very interesting game. So let's try and analyze it now. So what we'll do is we'll turn off the engine, and now since we've already seen how it ended, we'll go over this really nicely. Okay, so let me see if I can make this a little better. Alright, so here, because I want to show you certain features of the chess base too. It's very interesting. Let's see if you can see it. Okay, a little bit more, and I think that's probably good. Okay. Alright, so from this point onwards, what we're going to see is ChessBase has this feature called the online database. So here it basically has its own online database that shows how many times a game has been played, or how many times a move has been played in a certain position, and if they're still in some sort of theory that has been played. So d4, d5 bishop f4, and 75,000 games here. Knight f6, 40,000 games. And again, these are not all games. There are certain games from like Title Tuesday, correspondence, games that happen in like prominent tournaments, whatever they could get their hands on. So most of them, and then certain other things. So e3, again, very well known line here. And after e6, white scores around 55% here. Although the main line is c5, which reduces, which basically equalizes, I think, almost instantaneously. So e6 was played, knight f3, and now here bishop d6 is played. There's also again c5, and c5 is one of the more challenging ideas that you want to ask the question to white that, yeah, you brought your bishop out. Okay, but I can give up a pawn and I can do the same thing that you're trying to do with your c4 push at some point in time. Anyway, bishop d6 was played, and the point is that, you know what, I don't like that bishop sitting outside, and I would rather exchange it. So bishop g3. Now again, 7,000 games have been played here, castle kingside. And this panel on the right hand side shows the games that have been played. And in fact, you can sort them by how early. So this has been played like March 19th, like 9 days ago. There's a game that has been played in here between Kozakowski and Golubovic. Yeah, and you can see that we have the whole thing. I don't think it has been annotated, but there is a game that was played on March 17th that has been annotated by someone between Pakilza and Domansky. Anyway, so these are certain features again that if you want to see what has been played very recently and what are the new advances, you can probably look at that. In those ways, bishop d3 was played, bishop in b6, and there's only around 539 games with this one. So breaking away from mainline, knight e5 and c5, and I doubt here any of them were in their preparation, but they were still like playing moves really fast. c3, so again, more or less at the London system, it's very intuitive. Queen c7 was played, again trying to put pressure on that knight, and f4. And now we see only one game with bishop a6 was played. After bishop takes a6, knight takes a6, knight d2. Queen e2. So knight d2 was the only continuation. After queen e2, we are in basically new territory that has not been seen before, and that is where it goes out. So if you want to prepare or something, you can usually use this to see what's the score again, and then f4 again gives a really nice score for white. So out of the four games, white has done really well. But the one continuation that Greg chose, black was able to actually win that game. So we can see that here with the 0% scores. It was 0-1 in 2022, and this game was played. And after takes, queen e2, and if they were to follow the game, they would have to play knight d2. So queen e2 here is a novelty, and so that's what how the game progressed. c4, knight d2, b5, a3, knight b8, e4, d takes e4, knight takes e4, knight here, knight takes d6, queen takes d6. Knight can basically say that, you know what, sufficiently, I've created enough imbalance here. I have a bishop, you have a knight, and I have a knight really nicely placed, and I have a lot of space. So castles, and after queen d5, I think this is where we start analyzing it, and I think it's really equal. If I was white here, which the engine, we know since we looked at it, the engine probably suggested this bishop h4 move quite a bit. But let's say if we were white, what would we try to do here? And that's one of the interesting questions that I have. And my point being, what would I want to do? Since I have a lot of space, I'm probably thinking of a kingside attack, but I'm definitely not trying to exchange pieces here. So one of my moves probably would be to keep an eye out on rook f3. Rook a e1 is also something that I would like to do. So here, this is probably interesting. I'm also eyeing this idea again, and I saw that before, and you probably were taking a look at that. This can become a problem piece, and I think one of the other things I can kind of do is figure out, does this bishop want to join the attack? Not like that, but somewhere here. Or does this bishop want to like join the attack like this, or try and attack that knight? So there's a bunch of things that bishop can do, but again, obviously nothing because of these pawns. It's a little it's a bad bishop, so you can kind of exchange it with for the knight, or you can reroute it to somewhere like here and make it a defensive piece. And then once you push with your pawn storm, you can probably have some ideas. Anyway, a4 was played here, and after a6, bishop h4, queen b7, g4, knight takes e6, bishop f6, and I think this was a little ambitious, but also causing problems for white, because white did move this bishop like 3 times, and in return also gave a really nice outpost to black, and that knight covers a lot of the key defensive squares, and this bishop is effectively almost out of the game because he cannot come back to any of these positions, although he can, but it's not going to help too much. And the other thing is this knight just holds so many key squares in white's position, and it's just a psychological advantage for black to have not have a lot of space but still have so much control, which is very interesting. So bishop e7, and as you see, that bishop just had to choose to sit in a really awkward spot, not doing almost anything. So it looks like this bishop's really strong. Sorry, this bishop is really strong with all of this, but just shooting in the thin air, not attacking a pawn, not attacking a piece, not even taking important square. So that bishop, albeit looking very beautiful, cannot be kicked away, not doing enough. And after a takes b4, she takes b4, rook takes a4, I think it's just very clear that black has 2 passes, and it's going to be very difficult to deal with that. So very interesting game that we saw, and I think we might be ending. Sorry, very unprofessional attitude from me. I'm taking messages between the explanation, but I think this basically also spells the end, because you're going to put because you're going to put the rook because you're going to put the rook behind. Let's quickly see if I can copy text. Okay, so alright, let's see. Then you get basically the 2 rooks behind the the rook behind the pass pawn, and it's going to be very, very difficult for white to stop both of the pawns. Although white does have his own pass pawn, but it's not going to trend, because these 2 pawns are much closer to queening than the other pawns. I don't think they have the pairings for the next round yet. But what a game. We'll take a little break, I think. So I'll see if I can add some sort of media source. Okay. Browse. I think I have streaming assets, and I'll play some copyright free music for you guys. Okay. going to be stupid, but let's try this. Okay, so I have the candidates here, and I'm going to actually interact with it. Let's see if I can. Okay, so we have 8 players. Let's take a look at them, and let's see who we think are going to do well. So we have. I don't know if they're going to replenish the YouTube video. We'll come back to it. Let's look at the candidates right now. So we have Fabiano Caruana from America, Anish Giri, Matthias Blubom, Thijs Blubom. We have Javakir Sindaro, Wei, Yasipenko, Pragnanda, and Hikaru Nakamura. So I think if I had to pick one guy to win it, and if I would just pick one guy without looking at who's the best, who can do something, I would probably pick Anish Giri. But this field is really, really good. When I say this field is really, really good, I do not say it lightly, because Wei, you can, if you look at the Olympiad performances, if you look at how he's been playing, it's really good. And then Fabiano Caruana has been like world number 2 from 2018, and it's very difficult, world number 2, world number 3, very difficult to like get the better of. Very seldom he's like lost games, but also very seldom like he has problems converting sometimes, but he's really good at like just playing solid chess, similar to Nakamura. Nakamura comes up with some odd prep here and there, and that will be definitely interesting, but the question will be, hold on. So the point is, Nakamura will come up with some sort of opening prep again, some sort of lines, and he's very good at it. But he also is very animated, so it's fun watching him. But he's also really, really solid. And remember this odd candid game, which is Firuza versus Nakamura, where Nakamura had to find like a bunch of only moves to survive and get a draw. He found all of them, which is very interesting. So he's good on the board too when he's out of prep. Javakir, a young and upcoming talent, so good again at classical chess, part of the gold-winning team, has such a strong support system behind him, amazing stuff again. And we've all looked at Anish Giri. So Anish Giri has come up with like so many lifetime repertoires, so his work with openings is well known all around. So I'm expecting him to come with a lot of really nice opening novelties that will cause problems to a lot of other people. Now, for this, I think we do not know a lot of seconds that each of them have. But we know from some places, and I've only heard this, that Levin is working with Caruana. He already has Christian Corella working with him. But we do not know much about anything else. Now, we can obviously assume for Wei some other Chinese players, and obviously Digligen might be able to help with something. Again, just speculation. But Javakir Sindaro, again, he has a lot of Uzbek grandmasters who are really nice and close, and might be able to help him out. I have almost no other information about anyone else, and if I do, I've forgotten. But from this, if I had to pick someone to actually get past, I would probably pick Anish Giri, just because I want to see a really nice match between him and Gukesh. But based on strength, again, Fabi has been the top-rated player, and I think Fabi and Hikaru are probably the most likely ones. But still a tight group. You can probably also expect Javakir to make it. But if I could pick wishful thinking, it's going to be Anish Giri. If I had to pick completely objectively, everyone's going to pick Fabiano Caruana from there. Anyway, so that is it. Let's if I can look. Hold on, let me see if I can interact with it a little bit more, and I can see the schedule, right? So let's look at the full schedule if we can. Okay, so opening ceremony is March 28th March, so it's today at 3 o'clock Central Time. So then this starts at 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m. tomorrow, our time, and then and so you have round 1, 2, 3, and 4 right after. So, and then you have a rest day on the 2nd of April. So very interesting 4 rounds of chess right after the. We might be able to stream the opening tomorrow, and I'll try to see if I can do that. I'm not very sure about it, but let's see if I can again interact with it a little bit more. I don't know if they're up with the. No, nothing's up on the thing yet. But let's look if we can see the games. No. Pairings. Give me the pairings. Games. Okay, we should also look at the women candidates actually. Hey. Chesacom, come on. Alright, yes, let's look at the women candidates too. I think that's also very interesting. Let me look at the players. Alright, so amazing people again. So we have Zujiner, Alexandra Goryachkina, Diva Deshmukh, Tan Chongi, Vaishali Ramesh Babu, Katrina Lagno, Bibisara Subayeva, Anna Muzichuk, and I absolutely am a fan of all of these. I think Zujiner has been the like front runner for a long time. And same for Alexandra Goryachkina and Katrina Lagno. They've been like they've been like front runners similarly with Tanjangi. So they've been very like strong pillars of chess throughout. Few new faces again. Dev Deshmukh, Vishali probably played in the previous candidates too, but it's the first one for Divya, and I think maybe Sarah might have played it before. I'm not sure. And Anna Muzichuk has played again so many of these strong events. So picking a favorite out of these is very difficult. Since I really enjoyed, Anna Muzichuk and Vishan commentating together, so I really like that little stint. And I feel Tanjong is always so happy, so it's again like, and she's always played really nice, like aggressive chess. Which is very interesting. And then Bibisara has also been available in the freestyle space, and she's been present there. And all the other players again have been really steady about their chess. So if I had to pick one person to win out of here, I would probably go. Very difficult. I would probably pick Anna Muzichuk just because I want to see her playing against the current world champion. It's going to be interesting, and I know she's got an elder sister, Maria Muzichuk, who's also been playing really well, and who's I think also has tried has been a contender maybe once before. We played a match, but I'm again not very sure. But yeah, so that is pretty much it for tonight. We are going to actually not stream the second game. We are probably going to move away from this, and I'm gonna get to one of my devices, which is Dota. But thank you for hanging out with us, and with this I actually leave you, hold on, let me close this. So I'll leave you with Greg Turner playing against Courtney Cohen. So head to MCC Chess Club, look at their stream, absolutely amazing stuff being done by them. Go watch them, amazing players and amazing venue. Go flood them with love. Thank you.